Alrighty, welcome to panel number 2. I'm so excited for this. It's been a while. Oh man, we are back with panel 2. With, me, Reuben Rivera, and my co-host Ivan Animal Reacts. And we got ourselves a lovely cast here. What happened, Ivan?
No, I said I unmute myself, so I apologize for that. Go ahead.
Okay. And I was wondering if you all like to introduce yourselves.
Oh boy, I don't know which order everybody else's screen is in. So I guess let's do alphabetical order just to make this interesting and watch everyone go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's silly right now.
Wait, by last name
but
or by
I'm cheating
first?
since my name starts with an A. So woo! We'll do reverse alphabetical order next time and really throw people off.
Nice.
Hi everybody, I'm Ayu. I voice Honoka Sawada and some other stuff, but mostly since we're here for the Horimiya, I voice Honoka Sawada, and I am very happy to be here with you today.
I guess it's my turn.
That's the next letter of the alphabet.
I'm Emmy. I think that's my name. Yeah, and I think I voice Motoko Iura. She's a babby. I love her. And that's it. Next person, please.
Incredible.
Hi, my name is Shalisa Delgado, and I voice Remi Ayazaki. She's right here.
Oh, you broke the alphabetical order. I comes before K. But anyway, I'm here now. So, hello, I'm Mark Allen Jr., and I voice Taiki Mizouchi, as well as a bunch of dudes in the background that you probably didn't hear.
Yeah, that's the stuff.
It me. Hi, I'm Marissa Duran, and I voiced Kyoko Hori.
Yeah!
Girl! Oh man, that was great. That was funny.
Love it.
Yeah.
First and foremost, let me just thank every single one of you for taking the time off to join this panel. It's a massive honor to be able to speak with you and to meet all of you. So it's I'm truly honored. So thank you so much for taking time for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Thanks for reaching out.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. Our producer Clayton has been working so hard, so props to him.
Thank you,
Definitely,
Clayton.
yeah.
Yahoo!
Yeah, it's doing a great job. That was a great way to introduce everybody. That was hilarious. Absolutely love that.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, I think
Off
that's
to a
one
great
of the,
start.
Yeah, definitely. I honestly feel like that was like such a very welcoming way to do it. And it's kind of funny and also kind of like nervous, but like it shows like how open everyone is. All you are with each other, friendly you are all with each other. It's pretty hilarious.
Oh no, I hate
We
all
don't
of
know
them.
what we're doing.
I don't get along with
I mean,
anyone here.
everybody's really chill except for Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm the bad one. So direct all your hate
Gotcha.
towards me. It makes me thrive.
Oh my god.
Wild. He must be doing great these days.
Oh, I think like a question I'd like to start off with saying is like, what have you all been up to ever since you guys finished recordings for the show?
What have we been up to?
What
Let's
have we
do
been up to?
reverse alphabetical.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Okay.
or any
well,
any order would be fine.
Yeah.
I've been working on other things. I've had the pleasure of being involved in a few other anime shows.
Ooh.
This is early for me. I want everyone to know. I usually don't wake up before 2 p.m. So.
I know.
But yeah, just working, and I stream, and
The
I
animo.
do storm chasing stuff, and yeah, I'm a busy guy. I don't have free time. My schedule is a mess, so I'm just kind of working all the time. That's me.
When am I?
Yeah, yeah. I've gone too far.
Hello. I've been doing some more anime stuff too, so that's exciting. And then last September, I filmed an indie horror short movie.
Ooh.
And that is
Nice.
currently making the film festival circuit. So that's exciting. I've been to a couple of screenings at film festivals for it, and yeah, really cool stuff happening. Otherwise, I work in marketing for a day job, so I'm like Mark, and I am also just hustling and working all the time.
Hustling, nice.
You gotta get that hustle.
Yeah.
Also, I just like want to praise Marissa on doing like because it's Crude Massacre, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's amazing, and like you winning all these awards, like I love it. 10,
I
10.
love you. Oh god.
But yeah, I've also been doing some Animu stuff. I've been keeping busy. I cosplay a lot, so I've been going to conventions for the last 4 weeks. So this is my first. I know, this is my first weekend where I'm like, nothing. So it's been a lot of sleep. A lot of sleep.
What's that like?
Yes.
What's
That's
that like?
the stuff. There it is. That's what I like to hear.
Sleep.
It's a privilege.
And truly, at this point, I'm like, I was running on just Red Bull nonstop, and I don't even know.
Oh.
And now I'm like, okay, chill out. It's time to sleep. So I've just like for the past 3 days, I've just been concussed at like 8 p.m. and don't wake up until like 10.
Oh wow.
Nice.
I love your chair, by the way.
Thank you. So
The whole
good.
setup is so cool.
It's my little anime corner.
I love it.
Love it.
That's
And then you
awesome.
see
I
like
love it.
Tanjiro stuffed inside of
I love it. But I love it.
Get in the box, Tanjiro.
Honestly.
I must say, I love the Sailor Moon props. Props to you for the Sailor Moon props, by the way. Massive Sailor Moon fan. So, yeah, I'm happy. I was actually really happy to see that. So, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's my turn again.
Take it off.
I just see my face on the screen and I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I've been doing more Animu stuff, voicing in more Animu stuff, directing some Animu stuff, and music directing some Animu stuff. And besides that, I've been eating and drinking and sleeping and playing with my cat.
So if
Totally
you
relate.
know, Emmy is a real life anime character. That is.
Yeah.
This
what
is
she
true.
I do run around with toast in my mouth. So does my cat.
Mhm.
He has a baguette toy that he'll just
Maybe
carry
if you
around the
think I was
house.
Late.
Okay, that's cute.
We're late
funny.
for life, I swear.
Just so everyone watching knows, we're sort of seeing the same video you are. So it's like we're watching somebody else answer questions and really enjoying ourselves, and then suddenly you see a picture of your face come up. And it's like,
And then you scream. You're like, oh my god, when did you get there?
it's time to answer a question. Crap.
Like, not now.
ugh. So if you've been watching anime, I'm currently in the middle of directing SSSS Dyna Zenon, which some of the people in this group are actually
Nice.
also in it. What? As usually watching that. I'm also assistant directing Higurashi Sotsu and voicing Rika in it. And outside of that, I do have my weekly streams every Friday where I draw stuff in a panic. It's a really good time.
In a panic?
Basically. Oh yeah, the panic is great. We rando select prompts and characters and things like that, and sometimes there's a time limit, sometimes there
Oh, it's
isn't.
like your
Yeah.
build a visual novel panel.
Yes, it's like the Let's Build a Visual Novel panel. We started it actually last year because we couldn't do all the like Let's Build a Visual Novel, Let's Draw Anime Characters Together poorly panels. So it is basically like the panel we bring to cons instead, and we just goof off a lot, and it's a fun time. So
That's awesome.
swing
Look
by.
at
I
you,
can't
yeah.
believe I'm plugging my
details.
stream. But yeah, come on by.
Oh, there's an echo there.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I heard that echo right now.
It's not me this time.
She pushed down the heavy advertising button, so it repeats everything.
Come
so
on
she-
down.
Come on by. Come on by. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that's a different bye. Sorry.
Gotcha.
Bye. Now it's in my head. Thank you.
Okay. Because we're all told. Okay, moving on.
In my defense, though, speaking of Dinah Zenon, Krista McGuire, who wrote the script, included a line where someone yelled at somebody else, "Tell me why!"
Yep.
And that ruined my week.
That's great.
And that's great.
All right, let's see.
So I'm gonna break this down. So there's some questions that are submitted on Twitter, like the post that we tagged all of you in.
Yeah.
We're gonna be answering them, and also we might take some questions in the live chat too.
Hi, live chat.
Hello, chat.
How did each of you get involved in the English dub of the show, and your favorite part on working on the show?
Marissa.
Oh,
Thank you for volunteering.
Come on, Queen Hori.
Gotta start with the head lady.
Right? Okay. Well, so I auditioned for the show, but my story is kind of funny, I guess. Well, to me, it's funny. That's Nola, by the way. That's my dog.
I was about to say, what is that?
It's a bear.
It's alive.
Whoa.
It's alive.
So I think I got the audition sides like on a Friday evening, and I was actually cat sitting for a friend and staying in their apartment. So I wasn't home with my equipment to be able to record my audition. So it was due Monday morning. And so Sunday night at 11 o'clock, I come home and I recorded it in my closet. And I'm like, it's whatever, dude. Like, I'm just submitting an audition. I don't know. Expected nothing of it. So I submitted it. And then I think it was Wednesday or Thursday of that week, I'm working at Starbucks and it's slow. So I pull out my phone and I'm checking my email because I do that all the time anyway. I'm kind of obsessed with checking my email. And I open it up and there's an email from Funimation and they're like, "Hey, are you able to come in tomorrow to record Kyoko Hori and Horimiya?" And I was like, Kyoko Hori? Wait a second, is that the lead? And so I Google it real quick because I'm a moron and I don't even remember. And I'm like, holy crap. So I turned to my manager and I'm like, "Hey, can I go in the back and respond to this email real quick? It's kind of important." And he was like, "Yeah, no problem." So I go into the back and I respond and I'm like, "Yes, absolutely. I'll be there. Someone's got to cover my shift. I don't even care. It's going to happen." Yeah.
Nice.
That's awesome.
All right, who's next?
Jalissa!
Just yell each other's names. This is amazing. I love it.
Yeah, so same as Marissa, I got the audition sides and I was just like, I just did all the girls. I was like, oh yeah, like I love this one, this one, this one. And then when I read Remy's, I'm like, well, she's quirky, cute, and awkward like me, or just bubbly. And I was like, sure, let's do it. So I auditioned for everybody. And then it was weird because in my email, it just said, "Can you go in for Horimiya?" And I was like, okay, cool. Like, yeah, that's fine. So when I went in for my session, I had no idea who I was playing. And when I stand in front of the mic, I'm really excited. I'm like, ooh, what's happening? And then Caitlin comes on and she's like, hey. And she's like, I'm gonna play you back your audition. She played me back Remy and she's like, congratulations. And I was like, oh, wow. That's so cute. So yeah, and then we just recorded her first session. And then I got in my car, I sat down and I started crying. Because, yeah, Remy was my first really big one, and I was super thankful. So I just got in my car and I was sob, and then I drive home, and then I was like, I want cake. So I bought myself a normal sheet cake, just a white sheet cake, and yeah,
I love it.
Amazing.
That's great.
I love that. I love that. Ayu?
Yeah, so like everyone else, I auditioned, but Honoko was actually not a character you could audition for. And when I opened up the sides, I'm actually a fan. I've read the manga for a while now. And when I was going through the characters you could audition for, I noticed she wasn't there. And I was like, dang, she would be the fun one. Oh, well, I guess I'll try for the others and we'll see what happens. And so, of course, didn't get cast on the front end. I thought nothing of it. And then later on, because she shows up at the end, I was like, wait, I do get to voice her, but she's the fun one. It's interesting. Caitlin does seem to have sort of a sense of who really clicks in and who connects with a character. And you can see that reflected in her casts a lot. And so the fact that even though I didn't get to audition for this character, and I think that happens a lot of times with other people too, where she just sort of recognizes pieces or beats where either not necessarily you're similar, but you connect with them, or you think it'd be fun and you really want to try it out. And I really love that about her and her casting. And so this was a really fun example of that.
Awesome.
Emmy.
What even was my experience? Well, I auditioned, but Motoko wasn't one of the characters on the list either. So I just, I read, and I was like, I don't expect anything out of this. So I didn't really think anything of it. And Caitlin was like, yeah, the cast is awesome. And then you came out and I was like, yeah, everybody's really awesome. And I was like hearing from both Sean and Caitlin while the whole process was going on. And then I got a text that was like, hey, can you come in for a Horimiya? And I was like, sure. I mean, I'm not going to say no.
I changed my mind.
And I mean, Motoko, she's really great. I mean, for the first scene for her to show up in to be like a mental breakdown, I was like, man, you guys must have a lot of faith in me. But at the same time, I am no stranger to mental breakdowns, so let's bring it. But
incredible.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Caitlin knows when we connect to somebody, and she knows the whole me mental breakdowns, nervous wreck, absolutely, stress 100%. So yeah, that was my and then I got to be siblings with Youngie, which is great because we've known each other for ages.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. And last but not
Me. Oh, hi. Okay, so like many people have said already, I also auditioned, but Taiki also wasn't in the auditionable characters. I auditioned for most of the guys in the main cast, and then didn't hear anything for a couple weeks. Then the cast was announced, and I was like, awesome! Look at all these cool people who are playing these roles. I happen to be friends with a lot of these people, so it was nice to see them all, get those wins, especially Marissa. Congratulations again. Really exciting.
Nice.
And it was a couple of weeks after that that I went in and started doing additional voice work for Walla and bits in the background, a couple of students, again, people you probably didn't hear. And then I'm watching the show because it's really good and I really enjoy watching everybody's performances. And I think it was like episode 4 had just come out. And I got a text message that said, hey, can you come in for Horimiya? And I was like, okay, I guess we're going to do more Walla. And I came in and Caitlin was like, okay, so we have this guy who's kind of a jealous jerk. And I was like, oh, okay. It ended up being Taiki and we had some fun with it. There's a lot of depth to that character, even though he's only there for, the one episode, really. There's a lot of subtext behind that. And I got to yell at Alejandro, which is a dream role of mine. So that and we were
That's great.
That's awesome.
Part 2 of this question says, because the show makes me cry, I really wanted to know, have you ever gotten really emotional while voicing a scene in the show?
Ooh, in this show? Huh.
Absolutely.
I mean,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I've gotten emotional watching everybody else's stuff, for sure.
I came in and did a mental breakdown, so
Question answered.
There you go.
Yeah, I think especially on a show like this where there's a lot of heart and there's a lot of real interactions between characters. I mean, I think that's one of the things that makes Horimiya so special is that it doesn't feel like fiction. The characters all interact and respond the way most normal people would.
Uh-oh.
Who's echoing? Who's that, me?
Oh, whose
speakers are
on?
Is it
echo. What?
Do you hear it from my end?
I don't know.
Maybe I don't hear you echoing.
It's so weird.
That's
I don't hear.
Yeah, I don't hear you echoing.
You don't hear me echoing?
No, I
don't
don't hear.
I mean, we're all wearing headphones. This is incredibly bizarre.
Yeah.
It's a ghost. I think it stopped.
Oh, that's so weird. Did it stop?
I have
Yeah,
no
it
idea.
stopped.
I think it stopped. I think it stopped.
Whoa!
Whoa! It's
That was very
Welcome the
bizarre.
machine, everybody.
All right. The joys of technology.
Right?
But yeah, no, what I
Yes.
was saying is just that like because it's so real, I think that for at least for me, even in the few scenes that I was in, you know, the scene is by its very nature emotional, and because of that and its reality, you kind of can't help but get emotional in the booth because you've got to tap into a lot of real experience to really make that ring true and bring those kinds of scenes to life. So I think at least for me, the answer is definitely yes. Even in a brief time on the show, yes.
I think episode 7, which is the one where Hori and Miyamura are finally kind of reunited after he has been out of town. That one really got me. I loved the music in the background, and just the way it was animated was really powerful. And I'm a sucker for really powerful images like that. So that was rough. And then the very final episode at the very end, because I think that was when the reality hit me of like everything that I've had the chance to do in this show and just how big of a deal it was for me personally. And so I was emotional because I was like, oh my God, we're at the end of recording. Like, this is the end. So it was, that last line was really hard for me to record and sound happy because I was an emotional wreck inside. But it was, it was really cool. And then I went and sat in my car and cried and recorded a thank you video.
That's amazing. Are you?
Not so much for this show, not because I didn't really like click with Honoka, but because we didn't get to explore like as much as like the manga digs into it. There's very much surface stuff because her story really sort of unfolds a lot later in the series. And so, yeah, there were like some sad moments, but all of it was just like, oh, hint, hint, she's going to be real sad later. Wink. But
off screen.
Yeah, but off screen, and we're going to talk about it later. But, you know, with every show, I do get emotional when it wraps. So, you know, when it ends, it's like, well, it was nice knowing you.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I heard the echo again.
Yeah.
I heard that right now.
Okay, I hear it a little bit of it now.
Yeah.
Row, row, row your boat gently
Row,
down
row,
the
row
stream.
your boat.
It's echoing in two voices.
I
How's
truly
that
thought you were
happen?
gonna go
That's not get demonetized, okay? No copyright
the
violation. The stream.
Okay, let's see. Part 3.
Wait, did Jalissa answer the question?
Jalissa, you cry a lot in the show.
I do. Remy cries a lot, and I'm like, that speaks to me as a person. So she cries when she's happy, she cries when she's sad, she cries when she's angry, and I'm like, yeah, that's me. So every time Remy cried, I was like, I got this, guys. But I think the one where I felt the most real tears it was the last episode when they were talking about going to the zoo, and I had my scene with Yanagi, and they were like just pinching my cheeks, but I was just like, it was so, because Remy doesn't have a filter. She always like just has the truth in her. So when she was just like actually really somber and sad, like I really felt it because she was and part of her was gonna be missing, or so she thought, but it was a new chapter in her life that she was scared for. So yeah. Remy had her little blubbering tears.
Love the shirt, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you. I got it off of Redbubble.
Reuben, the last question.
What has been your favorite scene or episode to record for the show, and why? The suspense.
Ooh. Well, I only have 2 to choose from, so
Yeah,
let's start with me because that's an easy one, I guess. I think other people have a larger collection of episodes they have to sift through. I actually like her second episode more, where she sort of learns to start talking with people a little bit, largely because she makes a lot of very big, loud, like noises, like and those are so much fun to make.
I remember that.
So yeah, so noises like that, especially when it's like "hi" and she's like "yeah," is funny to me, and they're fun to do. So I enjoyed working on that one the most.
That's awesome.
I really only have one episode to pull from, but I think in particular the scene where Taiki walks out and watches the scene play out between Miyamura and Hori, where he's just left going like, what just happened? Okay, I guess I'm following you now. Especially after the previous scene, that was such a great like twist and a lot of fun to experience in the booth before I record, because we preview everything before we record it, and we got to that point and just hearing the sound that he made with what had happened, I was just like, oh, okay, let's go. Yeah, sure, all right.
That's awesome. Marissa?
I have a few, I guess like 2 or 3 that come to mind. Basically, I think it's the last episode, but my dad shows up to graduation and is like being all buddy with Miyamura, and I get real mad and start beating him up, and I thought that was hilarious. Props to you, Bill, you're the best. And then
pretty much
the episode, I'm so bad at episode numbers, but when Miyamura and Hori are watching scary movies and she's like, I want to be scared, and so she pretends to be scared but ends up scaring the pants off of him instead. And
I can't remember what episode that is.
Oh, it was so fun. Oh, it was great. And also when she gets to stand up to the bullies, the
I love
trio that are bullying Miyamura, she's like, you assholes can piss off. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yes.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I think my favorite episode to to record was episode 8, because it was all about Remy and Sengoku and their love and like how they got together. Definitely like
lots of
they're
crying.
Actually not crying. It was just like them learning, like him being shy and learning how to be vulnerable with her, and she was just like, you're cute, like I like you like that, like let's get together. But one of my favorite scenes to record was actually with Anetti's, and it was when Yuki and Remy were like in the cafe talking about like, can you tell Sakura like I don't want to do this, but Remy's like, but why though, like, and so she's like, you need to be honest, and I loved that scene. That was my favorite one to record.
I have to say the scene where Remy was actually being more connected with Sengoku definitely made me like Remy more, because when I saw Remy, I was like, if I know anime pink hair characters, they talk very sweet, but they're kind of devious. That episode kind of changed my mind about it. I was like, she's a sweetheart, especially at the end, really capitalized on that. So I totally agree with you.
Oh yeah. Literally, when I recorded for Remy, I was like, I told Caitlin, I was like, people are gonna hate me. She's like, no, people are gonna hate me.
I guess I'm only really into like the last 3 episodes, but I think my favorite scene would be the scene with Hori while she's tutoring, as well as the lead up to that scene, because when she first shows up at the house and then she's like, are all the guys in this house like crazy? Like, what is going on here? Like, am I safe here? And then when she talks to Hori and she's like, yeah, my brother is like me. He's really, he keeps to himself and he's quiet. And Hori's like, what? So yeah, I really love that. So.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
That was good.
Yeah. It was heartwarming and
Good one.
That skepticism, and it was fun like seeing her beyond her soft shell when she first opened. Oh, I guess another favorite of mine is when in the flashback where they're like, not flashback, where they're like, I wonder what his sister is like, and she's like, Big Waffle, I love you, and
That's awesome. That's awesome.
You know, my favorite scene that would have been it. What would have been my favorite scene if it had happened is when they had a fight with the swords, like in the manga. But there are no swords in the anime, so.
Oh, really?
Wait, what?
Oh my gosh! I wish
There's swords
that
in the manga?
All the merch for Motoko has her with a sword because the way she has sibling fights with her brother is with swords.
Yeah, what
Just completely
siblings
normal.
don't fight with swords?
Exactly. Who
Yeah,
doesn't have
several.
swords lying around?
I do have several, actually.
I have
Yeah, I
way
do
too
too.
many.
Yeah.
I think I have a sword for every sibling too. So
I have like
God.
20 swords for my
That's a
one
very
sibling.
thoughtful choice.
I even have
Many
a
swords
reverse
for one
blade sword
sibling?
for when I
Wow.
don't want to cut them.
yeah,
Wow.
when you just want to scare them a little, you know.
Exactly.
Oh,
Just
goodness.
knock them out.
Is this now a sword guy stream? Is this what we're doing? Everyone go
It
get your
could.
collections.
I don't know,
Let's
but I'm
do
thinking-
this.
I mean,
Okay.
Everyone pulls out swords. Anyway.
Yeah. Let's get to the. I think it's the next question. I
Number
think it's
4.
question 4. Number 4. If Horimiya was a musical, which character would have the best duet?
Ooh.
Is it bad that the first thing that came to mind is Hori and Miyamura singing "I Finally Found What I've Been Looking For" from High School Musical?
Okay, but tell me that.
That'll be the best.
I was.
That'll be the
that's
best
why I
one.
laughed. Because I was like Toru and Yuki doing "Breaking Free." Like that was literally my first thought.
That's incredible.
That's great.
I honestly,
I mean,
I honestly see those. So go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I just want to see the whole cast do Bohemian Rhapsody, but I always want to see the whole cast do
I
Bohemian
want to see the
Rhapsody.
whole cast do Cabaret.
Good one.
Just why not? Why not? Just add that chaos in there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's
I'm
just
into
get,
it.
Or just put on the production of Spamalot.
it's not a duet, but
Camelot.
I think we need Remy singing "Memories" from Cats. I think that's a thing that has to happen,
She's not
right?
dying.
No, but like it's just it's the juxtaposition, you know.
Oh, that's
Just
so
sing
iconic.
Memories.
I was
And-
beautiful then.
Good one. Oh my gosh. Me like imagining her in like the ugly musical outfit, like
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my god.
I think for me, I could picture a lot of the musical sequences being between like the couples, really, for the most
Yeah.
part.
Mhm.
You know, like
Yeah.
like Sengoku and Remy. You know, for instance, like
yeah.
like
Me over here thinking I'm like me over here like Remy and Sengoku would do Bop to the Top. Like no, I'm stuck in a high
Just
school
everybody
musical.
is High School Musical.
Yes.
I can totally hear the. Me personally, I thought Remy and Sengoku would do somewhat of a Disney-esque kind of number to it, just because
Oh, yeah.
that's kind of vibe I got when those two had their moments together. Like this feels very Disney-esque. I could totally like do a Disney moment. Like I thought it would sound really beautiful for me, but
Hey, look, if you want Remy
yeah.
to do Memories, you might as well have her do I Dreamed a Dream as well.
Let's
Oh
go
my
for
gosh.
it.
Y'all just want to put Remy in a hurt condition. What's going on?
Sobbing, it's fine.
What did Remy do to hurt
You're,
you?
you're thinking about it too hard. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out.
I
I just
also
figured if you're gonna cry, you might as well do songs where they're crying.
You know what? Oh my gosh! And then Hori does when there was me and you. Oh my god! Okay. I'm in a High School Musical tangent now.
Oh my God.
Boy.
I would very much like to see Hori's father take her out to karaoke and try to sing Breaking Free, but it's just him
It's just him
doing
I
choice
just-
parts and her just being like, I'm not here.
No, I want somebody to sing Last Midnight. I don't know who, but I just want somebody to sing Last Midnight.
I can also see
Okay.
Hori's dad sing Evermore from Beauty and the Beast.
Oh, I can see that.
oh
into
god, I could just imagine him singing the Hori and just looking at him like with that death stare look, like stop singing or something like that. That's what I just-
I'm not here.
Yeah, I'm not here. Like, Dad, I'm gonna kill you when this is
I don't
over.
know him.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
Hello, police.
I don't know.
I can totally picture that.
That's
All right,
amazing.
let's see. Is it hard to voice a teenager even as an adult? And what advice would you give to your character if you met them in person?
Oh.
I look like
That's
I'm
a good
16, so I feel like I still sound like I'm 16. And it's also just like learning how to condition your voice if you do need to be in a little bit of a higher range. And the advice I would give Remy, I feel like she would give me the advice, and I wouldn't need any advice from give her any. I think it would just be like, how does she say so positive? Like this, honestly, like I would not ask her, like give her advice, but if she gave me advice, I would ask her, like, how do you stay so positive when things seem dark? Because that seems very much her.
Yeah.
Definitely, I can see that.
Yeah.
For me, it kind of is hard to voice a teenager, but it really depends on what the adult version sounds like, because I have a medium to low voice. So the higher I need to go, the more difficult it becomes sometimes. So that's something I'm trying to work on and extend my range up into my higher register. But the advice that I would give Hori is the same advice I give myself every day, which is that I am more than my reputation.
Yeah.
Totally.
That's good.
She and I are very similar, so a lot of what she does or says, I'm like, that resonates with me really hard.
I think,
Mark?
for me, the voicing a teenager is different for me because I've always, and this might sound weird now, but I've always had a really high voice. I when I would answer the phone at my parents' house, even when I was 20, people would be like, "Hello, miss, is your mom and dad home?" And like that was a big like thing for me. I hated it. So I've always had a young sounding voice. The thing that's hard for me is not sounding jaded. I think as we get older, our love for life and the adventure of experiencing life kind of starts to fade away. So it's really easy to start reading sentences with more, I guess, indignation and being upset about things more. So bringing in some more innocence and vibrance to the way you speak is kind of the thing that I focus on when I'm playing younger characters. As far as advice for Taiki, I would say don't think that your high school crush is the only chance for love you have. That was actually something that I dealt with a lot when I was in high school. So the idea of like, oh, everybody wants to have their high school sweetheart and have that be their one true love for the rest of their life. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. There's still a lot of life ahead of you after high school. So
Absolutely.
don't behold yourself to, oh, that was it. It's the one that got away. I guess I'll be alone forever now. Like there's more beyond high school.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
It's hard when you're like young and then you kind of have those emotions because, like I say, you're still young and you have a lot more emotions than normal. So like when that does happen, it's like your whole world tends to kind of crumble apart. So, and I actually never thought of that, to be able to like give that kind of inflection, to like to be able to register your voice when you're playing a young character that's still lively and everything. I never really thought about that. That's a whole new perspective. I thought it was just acting young and sounding excited, but there's a lot more to that, and that's a really good insight, actually.
Yeah.
Yumi? I mean, or you, whichever.
Use them together. You must answer at the same time.
On the count of 3, ready?
Let's do this, bro. Oh, wait, no, I mean, there's not a star in heaven that we can't read. Oh,
no, we're
sorry.
gonna get
Mary had a
Again. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
God.
I'm the one who said no copyright infringement in the stream, and then I ruined it. I'm sorry.
Bro, you're both.
You kind of sort of have the voice that you have, and you work really hard to, work on your range and keep it. But, you're either blessed / cursed with sounding young or old or whatever, and that's what you've got. So if you sound young, like you do. And so I think for some people, a teenager might be at a higher end of their range and it might be a lot harder. But even though my voice is lower, it still sounds young. I just sound like a teenager with a deeper voice. So that's not necessarily difficult for me. Voicing adults, however, very hard. Very, very hard. But as for advice for Honoka, I would suggest that she try to be a lot nicer to everyone, including herself. There are a lot of things where, that sort of self-loathing and hurt manifests in hurting other people. And specifically that bit where she's screaming about, why is Miyamura? He's terrible. What do you even see in him? Is more of that sort of internalized jealousy and envy of not being able to work through really caring for yourself. And then you take it out on other people and you're mean to them. So be nicer to everyone, please.
Very beautiful.
And me?
Good one.
I am similar to Ayu in that, dear God, I cannot voice older characters. I have tried. When I start, like, I can kind of get into the 30 to 40 range if I'm like talking normally, but like I shout and I sound like a prepubescent boy. I have been told by a director that I respect very much that my natural voice is a teenage boy. So I am just used to it at this point. Like basically all my roles are like young. Someone tried to get me to play a bit part of an old person before, and dear God, that was a nightmare. I never want to experience that again. I don't know what they were thinking. No.
It's always worth a shot. You gotta try.
Yeah. It sounded like a 20-year-old trying to act like their grandma. It was not. Yeah, let's just say that having a lower, deeper voice does not mean that you sound older.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. So even though, like, I guess more than half of my characters are like super high pitched anyway, so whenever I get to use like the lower range, I'm like, oh my God, yes, it's fantastic. But yeah, as for advice, I would give my character. Honestly, they could give me more advice about studying because I was like that terrible student who like never studied and then went to take tests and then aced them. And then when I had when I was in college, everybody failed the listening exam and I had to go to my friend and be like, how do I study? So it really is the opposite way for me. So I would love advice on how to study and not be like squirrel every 5 minutes.
I can relate.
Yeah.
School is not designed to be friendly.
It's really
no. I will say that I found that very surprising how like I always thought if anything for voice acting, I thought it would just come naturally to play an adult character easier compared to playing a younger teenager. But hearing it from all of you, it's like the other way around. That's very surprising. I never would have thought that.
Let me put it to you this way. I am in my 30s and I'm still not convinced that I'm an adult. Like, I don't know what an adult is.
Well, actually, what one of my teachers in grad school said was that, you look at your teachers and you're like, they have everything together. And let me tell you, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
And she was like, she was this beautiful Japanese woman, tall, thin, looked like a model, like the most elegant person like I had ever met. Super successful piano prodigy, like absolutely amazing. Like everything that came out of her mouth was like super intelligent. And you're like, how do you say these things? And she's just like, we're making it up as we go along. I'm like,
that's my secret, Captain. I'm always not knowing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
My hardest roles are when they're like, okay, you're a dad, go. And I'm like,
what's a dad? No.
This is what a father sounds like, yes.
Clean your room. Get off the Xbox.
You know how lazy it is.
What?
Am I right?
I wrote you are an Asian, not a Bijan. English.
Mine's just like, did you take out the chicken before you come home? Like, that was mine.
Oh yeah.
No, that was mine.
Did you start defrosting it? Did you wash the vegetables?
That's every day. Every day.
Oh, dang.
No, adult things. What adults say. Taxes.
Yeah, taxes.
Oh
That's
dear,
why
it's
I
almost
choose
my
TurboTax.
bedtime.
Oh my God.
Right. Being an adult is just everything hurting, right?
Yeah.
Actually, I am an adult because everything has been hurting ever since I was like
10.
You're right. You're right.
I lay down strangely and know my back.
It's not one thing hurting, something's wrong.
Yeah, right.
Let's get to the next question then. How do you relate to your roles in Horimiya, and what do you like about them? Oh wait, did we answer that question already?
No, this is a.
Okay.
Similar, but
It's
not the
similar, but not.
same.
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's hard because I think Taiki is the person I am now, but not the person I was in high school. So when I was in high school, I was a very very loud, rambunctious person. And so when I walked into a room, I wanted to know everybody in the room. So I would go around and introduce myself. And I would speak very loudly and very clearly and try and make sure that everyone understood what I was saying because I wanted to know them. I wanted to know everybody. And now I kind of have evened out quite a bit. I'm a lot calmer now than I was in high school. And so when I do enter a room, I'm looking for anyone that I know. And if I don't know them, I kind of just stand there until someone says hi. So I think in that regard, that kind of idea of choosing to be a wallflower, of like, I'm going to be in my little corner where I know I'm safe before I really put myself out there. I think we do kind of have that a little bit in common. What I like about him, again, we don't have a whole lot of time to explore his character in the show, but I do like that he, for all of his jealousy and all of the fears that he has about missing out, he's a nice guy. He's a good guy. He helps Miyamura out, even though he knows it could hurt him and hurt his own chances. So I like to think I'm like that as well. I like to think that I'm the kind of person who, if someone came up to me and needed assistance, that I would offer it, regardless of what it might mean for me. So, yeah,
that's beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's my call.
Yeah.
My spinach puffs.
I like your spinach puffs.
I want to microwave that
There
text
are
messages
my,
me when the puffs are ready.
There are my dinosaur chicken nuggets. See you guys.
Woo! Chicken nuggies.
Dino chicken nuggies.
Yes.
Nice.
Iconic.
Marissa?
I guess.
Oh, go, Johnny.
Whoever-
Go.
No, at the same time.
I'm sorry.
Are they ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
I guess the way that I relate to Remy is she sees the best in everyone. And I definitely see the best in everyone until proven otherwise, or like there is like an official statement about somebody. I try my best not to judge somebody for what I've heard in their past, what I've heard from another person, because I know that some people grow and people learn from their mistakes. So why am I going to judge harshly for a past mistake? So, and I feel like that's very Remy. She very much loves and teases a lot too, but she always sees the best in people. And I think that's what also I really like about her too.
I guess for me, Hori and I are basically the same person. She's just the anime version of me. Slightly exaggerated because I don't burst into flames when I get mad or anything.
Are you sure?
Not that I know of.
Oh, God.
I don't know. I feel like when we saw Midsummer, you were bursting into
That's
flames
pretty
there.
true. Ooh. We're saying like
Wow.
that's fair. She, being the oldest sibling, she's very much a type A personality, and I'm the oldest sibling, so we have that in common. Her birthday is March 29th, and mine is April 2nd, so we are both Aries. So we're very stubborn and hot-headed, and we like to be right about things. And I think that's also why our reputation is so important, because that's our identity to an extent. Like, that's who we are. And I don't know. It's amazing that, because you're exactly right, Caitlin really does have a knack for putting people in roles that they really connect with. And that's what I think is so cool about Hori being my first named role, is like, I just get to be myself. It's an extension of myself. As it is with, basically every character you play, there's something you can connect with. And while she is so defensive and sarcastic, there's also this really soft, vulnerable side if you get to know her well enough. And I'd like to think the same is true for me. I don't know.
It can be if you wish it.
Yeah, there it is. But that's also what I love about her, because she puts up this wall like she's so tough, but deep down she's got this heart of gold, and it's just group mom, always worried about her friends, checking up on them, making sure that they have what they need. That's why she's willing to tutor Motoko, because she's like, yeah, I see myself in her. So she really has everyone's best interest at heart, even if she doesn't show it all the time.
I guess I'm left. Let's see. I relate to Motoko in that we both have swords. And again, we both have like anxious breakdowns and, very stressed people that have very high expectations for themselves. Perhaps too stubborn in that regard. What I like about her is how hardworking she is. As her brother points out, it's like, it's not that she's not trying. Maybe she just has to go about it a different way or something, because she works herself to the bone. And honestly, I admire people like that who can just who could just like focus themselves on their books and just keep going without like, checking their phone every 5 seconds, or like, it's, if she fails, it's not because she didn't try hard enough. She did her best, and that's what I like about her.
Yeah. You don't have to. It's me real quick. Honoka represents some of the struggles I had in high school that I had to work through, which is why part of me is like, you should be nice to everyone, including yourself. But that inability to connect with people because you've got those barriers up and those emotional struggles, and how sometimes it comes out poorly. But also the fact that, a lot of people, sort of, they try to be friendly, but don't approach her where she is, and she doesn't know how to handle that. And also that some people, especially like when those guys were just talking to her and hitting on her out of nowhere, like it's a lot. It's a lot, especially when the spaces and the nature in which she loves is different from the people around her, and it feels like there's nobody to connect to. And so I definitely understand that. But I am so proud of her for in high school still being able to talk about it and be honest. And I think that it's incredible that at such a young age she was able to do it. So you go, girl.
All great answers.
I think one of the things I really liked about the show too is that it really dived in depth with almost every character they introduced. Like it showed so much about what they go through, or showed how much they are different from each other almost. So that every character has their own personality that, like, and you guys all pointed out, you all kind of relate to in a way, So I thought that was very cool.
I totally agree. It's not one of those animes where it's specifically focused on two people and then everyone else is just fodder. Literally everyone else has their moments of shining, have their moments of growth and development. That's one of the best things I could really take away about Horimiya. It's super different. I mentioned this in the last panel, but it doesn't necessarily have to be super action packed. It just could be like life lessons and high school stuff to be truly amazing. And I think that shines a lot more than just characters that can shoot fireballs essentially. And that's one of the many things I could really take away from Horimiya. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. What are your opinions on Horimiya overall, except about your characters?
In terms of what?
I think it's asking about what are your thoughts on the show in total? Like, I don't know. I think that's what the question is asking.
Well, it's beautiful, both visually and from a storytelling perspective. There's this thing called truth and honesty, wherein you if you portray something as being truthful, that this is the way that things are, then they feel that way. And so because the show is so open about everything and so honest about the issues that every character faces and how they interact with each other, I think that's why so many people connect with the show, because it's easy to look at these characters and see yourself or your friends or your family or someone that you know in those characters, because they reflect real life so effortlessly. And I think there's a beauty to that not every show can manage to capture.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the
You
show...
know, like late. Oops, sorry.
No.
No, I cut you off. No, it's your turn.
I feel like the show, I mean, the overall, it's just about connection. Each of these characters is longing for a connection, whether it's with family or a friend or a potential loved one. And that kind of connection is a human need that I think we all long for, which is why it is so relatable, because you can see a piece of yourself in every single character. And so I think it's the way that they adapted the manga into the anime was really well done. I know that there was so much that they left out because they didn't have time to include it all, but they did a great job of bringing each character to life and kind of giving each of them their own moment, so that we got to see a little bit more into their life and their background, and it made them more relatable that way because we got to see more about them.
I completely agree with Mark and Marissa. It literally every time I think about Horimiya, I think about that Lady Gaga meme where it's like talented, brilliant, show-stopping, never done. Like that's what I think of whenever I think about Horimiya, because we all put our, like, you can tell everyone who is a part of the cast put their love, heart, soul, and everything into it, because it was something beautiful and well done. Like the animation, like the team in Japan did a phenomenal job, but even like the dub cast knew what it had and what it meant and brought their A game. And honestly, like being a part of this basically family now has just been an incredible, amazing opportunity. So Horimiya is just, I feel, has brought a new element to Funimation and just everything in general.
100%.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that really drew me to the show was the incredible art style and like the storytelling, and then like the dubbed version like increased even more with the acting quality. I was like, this is great. Like I absolutely loved it. It was definitely one of my first animes I got back into for quite a while, and it really hooked me back into anime overall, and I absolutely loved it.
Aw, neat.
That's really cool.
Come watch anime. Join us. One of us.
I actually do have to say, this is probably my very first anime that wasn't really like super action packed, where like, you know, it's nothing like Dragon Ball. It's literally just like life lessons, that kind of anime. This was legitimately my first one, and I do think it's probably the best one I've seen. I'm sure there's others, but in terms of like, this really gave me a whole new perspective on anime. So I'm with Reuben's sentiment on this one. This is just, I really have no complaints about it. Yes, I wish there was more added, but from what was worked with, it was still a great experience. So yeah, it was. I loved it. There's really I can praise it for. I could write a book on how much I can praise it. It was just, you all did a phenomenal with your roles. You actually showed that you guys care, like you were into it, and that's beautiful. That's really beautiful.
Did anyone else have anything else to say on this question?
It's fun. I love the manga. I own the manga.
I'm missing 2. I'm missing which ones? I'm missing 5, 6, and that's it. Those are the only 2 I'm missing right now.
I think I'm missing 4, 5, and 6.
I barely got the first one.
You what? Reuben, what?
I just bought the first one like about a week ago.
I go to like Kinokuniya every week, and I'm like, is there any new?
You can order them in, right?
Oh, can you?
I didn't know that. You can.
Yeah, you can. On their website, you can just have them order it into the store. That's how I get my Japanese copies of stuff too.
That changed the game. Thank you.
Yeah.
My eyes are open now.
And I'm like,
Okay, so next question. And finally, what are you all looking forward to next?
Dang.
Sorry,
I
that
look
was
forward to the
Dang.
day live in front of an audience at a con. I think that'd be cool as heck.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be very cool.
And I look forward to
That's
the day when I get to meet most of you in person, because that it's really not a thing
Yes.
that's happened for the most part.
There's no such thing as in person. We all
What's
live
a
in this
person?
weird ether
It's an
space.
illusion.
It's a digital room.
We're all just brains in jars. It's fine.
Oh god, I
Exactly.
wanna
Oh,
do
God.
that.
I have a brain.
No.
No, I kind of agree. I think the thing this is, probably the direct result of just the fatigue of the state of the world right now. But I do look forward to more opportunities to see people in person. There's been a lot of advancement in both my own career and a lot of people's careers in the last 2 years. And so it's interesting because during those 2 years, we're seeing so many people get more and more opportunities to get out there and introduce themselves to each other. But it's in this weird window of like, we all kind of feel like we know each other, but we've never met. So yeah. Definitely.
Who are
I
you?
agree.
I
Who are you?
recently met Mark in person.
Yes.
And
We-
when I met him, I was like, "You're so tall." That was the first thing out of my mouth.
I remember you texted me after a session because you had a session in studio right
Oh, God,
after me,
yeah.
and you texted me
My mic
because
was
you
like up
walked
here.
in
I'm like,
and the mic was like 3 feet above your head.
Incredible.
oh,
love everything about this.
I feel that deeply.
thank
Very
you.
deeply.
I'm like, I am just a 5'2" gal trying to make it.
Dude, you're taller than me.
One
My
day I went in and I recorded after Celeste, and the mic was way low, and I was like, I'm not even that tall. This is the best thing that's ever happened. So I took a picture with it. And it was great.
Oh, that's funny.
That's
What the heck?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
yeah, a con would be nice. A con would be super nice. I look forward to it. I look forward to actually
Leaving
seeing
your house.
people. Yeah, leaving the
leaving
house
the
would be
house.
nice too.
We're all forward.
I mean,
Next
not that
year.
I don't love it. I've got just a shelf. Look at that. I got a shelf. See, we're doing great. Oh yeah, see, look, the whole
Oh, there's a
two.
teapot on the shelf.
The whole
Teapot.
shelves.
I'm a
I
big
don't know
fan
what
of
I'm
that
complaining
the
about.
dice mat you have there. I have one too.
Oh yeah, we have matching dice mats. Look at
Yeah,
that. I
those are
love
really
my
good.
new dice mat. It's
Where are they? Where are they?
Oh, you did.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
back
god.
there.
Wait, I have
Oh,
to look
yeah.
forward to using
Right
those
there.
in
yeah.
person.
Got it.
Dice
On my
mat.
really
There you go.
messy bookshelf.
Woo.
Oh my god, perfect.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
that's so
We have
cute.
matching, they're map scroll type things. Love them. You roll your dice on them. I need it because my dice are glass.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have metal ones, and I want to save the table.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is just going to turn into a tabletop stream. I'm sorry. Horimiya is over.
I have one of those dice, the ones that the dice bowls or whatever that like it buttons together into the shape of like a cat.
Oh,
I love it. But like since we've just been playing on Roll20, it's like I'm not
Yeah,
using my
right?
dice. I'm not using my
I don't like so the campaign I'm in right now, our GM was just like, we're going to be using Roll20. And I was like, I've got my own dice. And he's like, I'd prefer you to roll it in Roll20.
in front of everybody so that they can see.
And I was like, I'll turn the camera on. And he was like, no, for me to keep track of. And later on, when I was talking with them, they were like, I could actually hear you like deflate when I said you had to roll dice.
It's like, hey, dice is expensive.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they're pretty, and you want
They're
to show
so
them
special
off.
because especially
You know-
mine, I saved up a long time to get them because they are glass.
One of
And
these days.
the numbers on them are Chinese or
Oh,
the
wow.
kanji, or kanji. So also Japanese because they share the number writing system. And so I was like, these are very special dice for me. And he's like, I gotta roll in front of everybody on the table. Listen, I got dice no one else can read on purpose.
One day I am going to get the gemstone dice. Every time I go to like a con or something like that, I'm like, oh, and every time everything dice or whatever makes a tweet with like new dice that they make, I'm like, I want all of these. I have to pick just one, but which one? I'm never gonna buy one at this rate.
I do a lot of D&D streams, and a lot of them use Roll20. I have notoriously bad roll luck. Like, my RNG is really low.
Oh, no.
But even on Roll20, it feels worse. Like, I feel like I will spend hours not rolling anything above a 10, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? We're all using the same system. What's going on?
The algorithm hates you, too.
It does.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
Someone's dicing, or someone's rigging the dice or something like that, because I don't know. No one should have that much luck with dice.
I don't
They have
know.
to be,
Either
like,
that or roll
weighted
20 knows.
There's a
know,
button on the
They're like, oh,
DM
Mark's
side
here,
to
let's
be like,
go.
make Mark's roll horrible, and they just keep pushing it.
Exactly.
It's one specific
It's the bad
slider
luck
for when
button.
Yeah. Let me check the GM options.
Maybe
This
it's
is
your
so
IP.
yeah. Mark's house. That's Mark's house. We're doing it. Well, sorry to completely hijack that, but this is now a tabletop stream.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
Oh my God, we have like matching D20s with like ducks in them because there's a goose in our campaign.
Oh
So
my
one of our
God.
members for Christmas gave everybody a D20 with a duck in it, a rubber duck in it.
Incredible.
I love
That's
that.
hilarious. I love it.
Incredible. I do match dice to my characters,
Me too.
for
Yes.
sure.
Mhm.
So there's that. I'm getting a new set for my birthday for a character who's going to be a harvester who forages for mushrooms.
So I was like, bones, organs, black market.
I mean, I would love a set of bone dice. Wow, that'd be
Yeah.
incredible. But you know, probably like I don't want it to be like modern bone dice because that feels like kind of unethical. So it'd have to be older stuff that just like already exists from last
Just
century.
take something from the catacombs in France, in Paris.
And those are all like 100%
Those are people
cursed,
too,
you know?
right?
The older your bone dice, the more they are absolutely cursed.
I love that your suggestion is, just fly to Paris, illegally go down into the catacombs, and steal some bones.
Illegally.
There's
Oh
no
my
problem
God.
with this.
What was I thinking?
That's
You're
scary.
not
That's
even-
dark.
Hey, look. You gotta devote yourself
Oh
to
my
this.
God.
Nothing worth
It.
doing
Gotta
is
commit. What do you
What the
have
hell
to
of a
show you
devotion.
to commit?
Yeah.
I have glass dice. I'm committed.
All right, let me see. Still got a few more here. Let's see.
Ah, yes, Horimiya. So sorry.
Right.
Next question.
That's what
Seven.
we're here for.
This one's an interesting one. Who would you want to play your character in a live action?
Me. No.
I mean, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that doesn't
so-
mean
No,
anything. Hollywood
yeah.
High
Yeah, I was gonna say, like-
30-year-olds
Yeah,
play high
I was
schoolers
thinking
all the time.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
most of you can get away with it. Yeah, I was gonna say like she
Yeah.
can get away with it no problem. I feel like you all could really.
I mean,
I
Have you
can
seen
see
some
either.
high schoolers these days?
Yeah.
I accompany an orchestra at a high school, and I'm like, dude, you guys look so much older than me.
What's in the milk?
I know, right?
It's the world.
It's like they
world.
suddenly all look 30, and I'm like, I'm 30. Why do you look
What's happening to your school lunches or something? What is going on here?
Yeah.
I just need some
Crazy.
foundation to get rid of these bags, and then I'm good.
Look, teenagers have bags.
Like I was at a Costco not last year. You know, time's funny. I was at a Costco back when it was fine to be in a Costco, and they had like these, but like the chair that has like little vibrating massage feature that you could
Okay.
try out. And I was like, I would love to try this out. And the dude manning the thing was like, you have to be 18 or older to try this. And I was like, the fuck?
I feel like you're not sure if it's a
I'm
compliment or
sorry.
an insult.
I can't
Oh my
sit in
God,
this
yeah, and
chair.
then they always think like they think if you're like young, you have no money. And like one of my friends
Yeah.
is like, you do realize that I have a tech job, right?
I was
Yeah.
like,
I
oh,
could
don't
buy
worry,
this
I'm
chair."
old and have no money.
I could buy all your chairs.
I spent it all on dice.
You spent it all on those bones.
Mhm, bone
Oh my
dice.
God.
Obviously, I feel like, and looking at the crew, we could probably get away with it if there was some sort of live action
I
interpretation.
have green hair right now by accident, but you know.
It looks good on you though.
That's because it's ashy right now on the camera, and I'm like, thank you, camera.
I can actually see it now. The green. I can actually see it now.
Yeah, it's like, especially on like this side. There's the green.
Yeah.
Like on the tips, yeah.
I gotta do mine. Yeah.
It was a mess.
Whoever the mangaka wants is who I want.
Yeah. That's a good.
I want Kanata Hongo to play. No. He also looks eternally like 12, so put him in a girls' school uniform. It's perfect.
That's funny. Okay, I guess for the next question then. So, and that is, aside from the character you voiced, which character is your favorite?
I use.
Honestly, yeah, same. I love a crazy little lesbian. Like,
that
was a hell of a comment.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love it. That was great.
No filter, right?
No hesitation.
No filter.
Nothing but facts.
I think, well, I like Hori's dad. Not necessarily that I like the character, but there is a whole lot of like tired adult energy that I really vibe with. Unfortunately, where I'm like, I too am a tired adult trying my best.
Ivan, you get.
I'm totally
had
not
moments with Harley's dad.
I'm totally not creeped out by that guy. I'm totally over that.
And it's definitely like cranked to 11, and I'm like, dude, you are gonna have to chill out a little bit.
We need to get
a lot.
Yeah, I would like to grab a drink with him.
Yeah,
I think that would be a great experience.
Yeah, he'd be fun to hang out with for like a night.
Yeah, you get the one. That's about it.
You know
But
those
also,
friends
you know.
that you can only take in small doses?
Yes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Like that
he
Mark
vibes
guy?
like that.
Yeah.
It's there are a lot of characters in fiction that I enjoy watching that I don't think I would like at all.
Oh,
if
you
they
mean like
were
all of my
in my
favorite
life.
characters who are like
Yeah.
serial killers?
Like, I love watching you do whatever it is you do. Please never be in my life. I hope I never meet anyone like you. I hope I never deal with anyone like you. But boy, this sure is entertaining.
Yes. Yes. I feel that so much.
Mhm.
I agree.
I think for me, it's tough because I like a lot of characters, but I think it's probably Toru, and I think it's Xeno's fault. Like,
Me all the time.
I really liked the character when I was auditioning for it, and then I kind of forgot about it for a little bit. But watching the show and watching Xeno really like just chew the heck out of that character, like. There's a lot of me in that character, and Xeno also gets that really, really well. So, I think it's probably Toru. It's just tough because I like everybody.
Yeah, same.
It's hard,
I totally get you.
I love.
It's one of those few animes that you can't choose the least favorite character. Everyone's great, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I love Sota because he's just so precious.
He is. I like Sota.
A great job bringing him to life. He just sounds so innocent, and I'm like, you must protect. Like
he's the little brother I always wanted.
Yeah.
All I want for Christmas is you.
I really love Shindo. Shindo is so freaking funny.
Shindo, himbo energy. I love him.
Chris absolutely slayed that role, and I
100%.
Yeah.
I just yes.
Oh my gosh. Like Chris himself radiates himbo energy, so the fact that like he was able to portray it in the anime just made me 10 times more in love with him. I was like, oh, Chris. Oh boy.
Yeah, I think what was it for me? I think one of my favorite characters was Sakura. I really liked hers. Like the character, I was like, she was just so nice and sweet, and I was like I felt so sorry for when she broke down at the end. I was like,
yeah. That was also one of my favorite characters too. Another thing that was kind of like, it's sad to see if she was crying, but then the next episode she was kind of like, okay, I kind of wish she had more of a closure, a little bit more of a resolution, so that she can move on. Probably my only gripe with that, but I still like Sakura a lot.
I felt it was was a real amount of time, though. Some people are like that. Some people just need that moment to just cry about it, and once you've acknowledged that, you can move on. I don't know. I'm not trying to pick a fight with you about it.
You're good. You're good.
I was gonna say too, and the one thing that anime always does is that they kind of hint that like there was a big time gap within 2 or 3 episodes, so it's like maybe there was enough time for her to move on.
Probably.
We just don't know for sure.
I just wish we'd seen it. Maybe that's just me personally. I just wish we'd seen it, but I'm okay for what it is. I'm like, the fact that she's happy, that made me happy. I was like, okay, she'll be all right.
I mean, to be fair, is she really happy?
Is anyone?
You never know what people are showing others and how they actually feel inside.
True.
Yeah.
She had enough time to recuperate and put on that front.
The show gets really dark if you start thinking that everyone's just pretending.
Yeah, I hope not.
I mean, that's really how you become an adult.
Stop.
Yeah.
You fake it till you make it.
That's so true.
Art is a lie and nothing is real.
Horimiya 2 would actually just be Uramichi Onisan, where everybody is just depressed and drunk.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Everybody's just a sad adult.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Wow, this stream got really low all of a sudden.
I felt it too. I was like,
you have to find the humor in the pain, Ayu.
I feel like I contributed.
That's what I was gonna say.
All right, the next question is kind of interesting. If you had to be stuck on a deserted island or the desert with one of your characters, your voice, or any character in the show, who would it be and why?
Hori, because she can make all the decisions for me. Thanks.
Hori is surprisingly good at making decisions, I will say.
It's very confident.
Yes.
I want zero responsibility, thank you.
Good choice.
I say as someone who directs, but you know.
Yeah, I'm going with Hori.
That's 2 for Hori. Who's next?
I mean, I'd be inclined to say Miyamura just because I know if I ask him to get eggs, somehow he will.
I mean, okay, that's a fair
point.
Oh my
God.
Very, very dedicated and resilient. Yeah.
He'll do what it takes. Like,
so eggs are the most important thing.
Well,
on a deserted island,
on a deserted island, eggs are an incredible source of protein, and they go with basically anything.
That is true.
Yeah. Like, okay, technically oranges would probably be better if that's the only thing you have.
Yeah, you got to get rid of scurvy.
But eggs are up there. Eggs are up there. I hear that you could actually do oranges and peanut butter, and that handles like all the stuff you need for a while. Like you can coast for a little on that.
That would require the deserted
Never heard of
island
that.
to have oranges and peanuts.
Exactly.
Well,
if it was a dessert island, though.
Oh man.
But otherwise, you know,
if it were a dessert island, I have a lot of orders, please.
Yeah. Eggs will do.
I think Hori or Sengoku. Like, I'd rather be stuck with either one of them too, because they're both a part of like the council. They know, like, Hori's not really part of the council, but she like does a lot of work for the council, so she already, again, like everyone says, like she's determined, but also like Sengoku's the president, so like he can also like have a level-headed after freaking out. So I think those would be my top 2.
I think if it was more than just me and one other person, I would take him because he can delegate very well and kind of know like, okay, you're going to be good for this and you're going to be good for that.
Yeah.
So if it was like a Lost situation, then
whose arm would I be?
Oh my God.
I personally was going to say, if it's not Hori, I would say Remy, because like you said before, she's always able to see the positive side of bad situations. And I feel like she would probably be helpful in keeping my sanity from me losing my mind, just from being cheery and funny and interesting. So aside from Hori, I would say Remy as well.
Remy would be crying in the corner.
I'm different from you in that regard, because if I were feeling miserable and someone was just being a ray of sunshine everywhere, first person I eat.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Shalitza, run!
Oh no!
I was trying to be sweet. It got dark.
I see the logic.
Right.
I don't blame you.
The sweetness.
That's hilarious.
It was sweet to dark in an instant. Like, whoa. Oh, God.
I would have to go with Hori as well. Honestly, I would need someone to help make the best decisions. Really, because I feel like if I was stuck on an island, I would be so hard to make the right decisions. And I feel like Hori makes a lot of good calls, and I'll be like, I need help here. Like, let's see.
That's funny.
Question number 10: if you could write a story arc for your character, what would it be about?
That's a good one.
I would like to see what Taiki's home life is like. I feel like he seems, I can say this as a middle child. He seems like a middle child, so like he got overlooked a lot. So I'd be curious to see what that would be like, what that home life would look like.
I can see that.
Glimpses of Hori's past. So like, when she's a little girl and her mom has to leave and she's sick, and then we see her being a turd to Sengoku in high school or middle school. But I would like to see those connect. So I'd be really curious to see her childhood and her growing up, and just seeing more about her home life and like what led her to be the way that she is.
I would like to see that too, actually.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with her father. So like, why is she so mean to her father? I would love to explore a little more. So like if she, did he do something so horrible that he just treats her like you're not my dad, you're just someone I just live with? That'd be really funny to see, actually. But,
right.
Yeah, especially how surprising.
Let's write down childhood trauma.
Yeah.
Fun to see.
Love that.
That's what
a
audience
great
want,
storyline.
Hollywood. Childhood trauma. Let's get more of that.
Let's
Don't
go.
quote me on that, please.
That's depressing. That's
Even
depressing.
maybe even I would like to see background of Honoka, when because they mentioned that how she lost her brother and all that. I would like to see more about that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would be happy to see that.
Happy?
But, I would be happy to see how you get to where you are. Because I think sometimes, when we meet people, and even characters, and we don't know where they came from, it's a lot harder to understand how to interact with them. And so it makes me happy to understand people.
Yeah.
Also, I hope she gets a girlfriend.
I know, right?
But that's just me personally. I'm not the writer, so no pressure.
But the question is, if you were the writer.
If I were the writer.
If you are.
Right. Well, now you know.
I just want to see them go to the zoo.
Yay!
Only thing I want to see them go
That
to
would be
the
a great
zoo.
epilogue. That'd be a great epilogue, actually. And I feel like that's what should have been. And there should have been an epilogue where we see everybody, even if it's still shots of maybe them going to the zoo or them going to college, even if it's simple still shots, I would still appreciate it. I mean, I love the ending regardless, but it would have been a nice touch to see at least screenshots of slight epilogue, not a massive thing, but it would have been nice to see.
Cool.
I'm still keeping my fingers crossed for an OVA that we get to dub. I don't know if that's going to be a thing, but that'd be pretty dope.
That's the first thing I'm doing is watching it. First thing.
Yeah, right.
You're like, not that I'm biased or anything, but
I was just like, whenever Horimiya first came out, I was in this Facebook group and they were talking about it. I'm like, is there gonna be an OVA? I was like, everyone was so on it, and I was like, I don't know. I hope so. I really want to see what it would be like. But in the manga, they did put a last epilogue chapter, and Hori Harris was X-Nade, but it was really cute. It was really cute.
I really have to read the manga then. I really have to.
It's so good.
It's good. So good.
There's a lot of people saying in the Discord server and the Reddit saying when is season 2? Even there's news articles saying when is season 2 happening?
If there's a season 2, you're gonna know before we do, for sure.
Exactly.
oh yeah, totally.
I get all my news from people tweeting it at me.
I get that notification and I'm like, oh, nice.
Thank you.
Let's see. This is an interesting question. Ivan, you want to read it?
Sure. If you weren't a voice actor, what would be your job?
Go, Mark. We already know your answer.
Everybody knows my answer. I'm kind of doing it. I do storm spotting. It's kind of volunteer work. I'm probably going to be out driving around tomorrow because we're expecting a pretty extreme severe weather day tomorrow. So you guys keep that.
So, meteorology.
I've been waiting for it to rain.
Yeah, it is meteorology, but it's specifically being the eyes and the ears of the National Weather Service and local news station weather persons to, let them know what conditions are like out in the field. So they rely on radar a lot to get a grand idea of how, storms are moving on the grand scale. But when it comes to things like, if there's an area of significantly hail, or if there's a tornado on the ground, or if lightning is really active in a specific area, they need spotters out in the field to let them know, because we as connected as our world is, we don't have cameras everywhere. So it is dangerous, but the thing that I focus on specifically is trying to make sure people are safe. So like, I want to make sure that instead of 5 minutes to prepare, someone might have 10 minutes to prepare. Twice as long to prepare for a disaster is twice as prepared. Your chances of survival and avoiding injury are so much better the more time you have, the more notice you have. And that's kind of what I focus on. So if I wasn't doing this, I'd be doing that all the time. So,
that's awesome, actually.
And
that's a great job.
Forever, but...
I feel like you'd be paid quite a bit with that job.
It's all volunteer.
Volunteer work.
Okay, got you.
And to piggyback off that, I always wanted to be a weatherman on TV growing up. I was terrified of storms, like beyond terrified of storms as a kid. Like I would feel sick in elementary school and have to go to the nurse's office if it got cloudy outside. That kind of anxious. And then, but it's funny because I was also very, very intrigued by the weather. And I remember in 6th grade, our science teacher wanted us to draw pictures of like a storm out in the ocean becoming a hurricane. And instead of drawing pictures, I wrote an essay, and I failed because I didn't draw pictures.
Listen, I painted a picture with my words.
I literally your was more in depth than you could have asked for. Why are you mad at me? I gave you more than you could have asked for.
But that's 1,000 words. So that's
right?
what a picture is.
Yeah, I would like grow up. We would go to the science museum in Lubbock, where my grandparents were, and they had a green screen, like with a map on it. So I loved going because I would pretend to be a weatherman and like give reports like in front of this green screen. So that was my childhood, and growing up, that was always kind of my backup plan. Was like, somehow I'm not good at math or science, but I'm gonna make it work. So
well, the presentation is the important part there.
Right.
Being able to accurately give the information in a way that doesn't make people fall asleep.
Yeah. I would like to think I could do that. Like
who else?
Next. Yeah.
I mean, I already do the thing as well. I'm a programmer writer and I write visual novels. And I would continue to do it. I'd probably write even more.
Nice.
Yeah. So there's that. I've been doing that long before I got into voice acting, and I will probably continue to do it long after.
Do you know something we don't?
No, it got away from me. See, I'm a writer, and then you got to go back and edit afterwards. This is without the edit. This is the first draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that.
I would probably be in music because I have a master's degree in classical piano.
Nice.
I do some of that anyway. Yeah, so probably like accompaniment, performing, teaching if I have to, like private lessons. I don't like being responsible for like a person's growth. So like had terrible experiences in my childhood with piano teachers, and I do not want to be that piano teacher for somebody else. So that's why I'm not big on the whole teaching piano unless they're already in like college.
Did you teach me?
I mean,
the hesitation.
Yeah, that was the answer right there.
Yeah, like no,
because I know how to play, but you blow me away. I'm so jealous.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I did spend a lot of money on that degree. So.
Yeah. Well, one would hope it was worthwhile, right?
Yeah. But yeah, so that's it. I would probably be getting my doctorate right now and graduating from my doctorate at this point, but.
Then you can write books.
Then I can teach in universities, and like that would be a steady career. I don't know what that is, but yeah, insurance.
I hear it exists.
Dental
somehow.
vision? What?
Dental vision.
I think
Denisa?
oh boy. So I've always loved entertainment itself, so I knew I'd be still in the industry no matter what. I will weasel my way in. No matter what. So I do have my bachelor's in filmmaking, so I would definitely I specialized in script writing and directing, so I think writing scripts would be something I would get back into. Even being a PA, I don't mind that. I think that's fun. People think I'm crazy for loving PA work, but I think it's fun.
Hey, somebody has to like to do it.
Yeah.
Exactly. I enjoy it. It's fun. It keeps you busy. And then I guess, like, if not entertainment wise, I would be an AV teacher for high school, specifically high school, because I can't handle kids that can't comprehend themselves.
So not high school.
I was gonna say.
You know what?
Choice.
Maybe university, but I would have to get a doctorate, and that'd be a whole thing. So no, or a master's.
Let's see. Last question we have here. What song do you think is most fitting for your character?
That's a good
There's
one.
a specific Spotify playlist for Remy Ayasaki that I listen to. Like I used to listen to before I went into the session. And there was, oh my gosh, it's called Summertime. And it's like, I don't know the words.
Hang on, I'm looking it up.
It's, oh gosh.
I'm sure you're going to find a lot of results for Summertime.
Absolutely.
Summer stuff.
It's like a cute little kawaii song. Let me see. By Cinnamons.
Awesome.
There you go. Yeah. Summertime by Cinnamons. And I'm like, that is Remy's song. If she was just like getting ready to go to school, that would be her. She'd be like skipping.
So many
Motokos.
summertime artists. So many.
Motokos would probably be "In the End" by Linkin Park.
Oh my god.
It's so hard.
I wasn't expecting that.
And in the end, it didn't even matter.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
She didn't get into the school anyway.
Why is that so fitting?
That's sad. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
that was great.
I am a bright ray of sunshine. I'm the most optimistic person here.
So Jalitza had sent me a link to a Horimiya playlist, and it was for both Hori and Miyamura. So it was songs that they would both like relate to.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, they made that playlist private. Like I can't listen to it anymore. It is no longer on my Spotify.
No.
So I am so sad.
Oh.
And I honestly couldn't even tell you the songs that were on it. Like I'll hear them in my head, but I don't know who they were by or the names. So
I
but
would be determined to find you a whole new playlist
Thank
just
you.
for that.
But I feel like Cody would listen to a lot of Paramore. Like just this like fiery redheaded lead singer with like some great guitar underneath. Like that's just her vibe.
I can actually hear that. Actually, that's funny.
I think I actually literally tweeted the lyrics to this song when I announced I was voicing the character. Hey, you! I don't like your boyfriend.
Avril Lavigne. Avril Lavigne.
But yeah, that's hers. It's very, very peppy, very aggressive, very. You should be dating me.
For Taiki, it's Mr. Cellophane from Chicago.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that came to mind. So
That's a good one, actually.
That was a good list.
That was really good. That was actually perfect, actually.
All right, let's see. I think we might have some questions in the comments. I'm gonna scroll up.
So most of the questions are down here. There's one by Orioshi. How do you feel being part of a show that turned so big after it started as it did?
great.
I feel like people knew it was going to be big. It was a very popular manga. A lot of people I knew were excited about it, so it wasn't a surprise at all.
And I think that's why I feel like such a doofus, because when I got the role, I had no idea what I was getting into. So I feel very fortunate that this was how I got my start. And I also was so overwhelmed because I was like, oh my God, like there are going to be expectations on me that I need to live up to. Don't read the comments. Like,
yeah, no, don't.
Never read the comments.
Ever.
well, on
Never.
occasion I read it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I sound like an adult woman. And people are like, no, she sounds like a high schooler. What kind of high schoolers did you go to school with? Like, hello? And I'm like, thank you.
Yep. Yeah, no, I was just jazzed to be a part of it because, like I said, you know, when the cast was announced, being able to see so many of my friends being a part of such an important story to so many people was really cool, and I was really excited. And so when I was asked to come in and be a part of it, I was just, you know, honored because I was like, cool. Everybody else gets to succeed, and I get to enjoy their success from my couch. Like, this will be great. And so being a part of the party was just, you know, icing on the cake for me.
That's awesome.
I don't know how. I think this was talking about the bones when we were making jokes about the bones for the dice.
I didn't want to read that question.
Someone who willingly gave them up after dying, like an organ donor program.
I didn't want to read that question because it was random.
Look, just fly
I feel like I had to.
and take those bones.
I didn't want to do it. Thank
Nobody's
you.
gonna stop. Nobody's gonna complain. They're dead.
As an organ
Oh
donor,
my God!
as an organ donor, there is no sticker you can put on your ID that says "I volunteer my bones." That's not an option.
You can't give away
Literally,
your
okay,
bones.
Redbubble. Someone make one on Redbubble right
And
now.
you can't specifically be like, my bones to be someone's dice.
Right,
Put it
yeah,
in the
that
will.
would be
Put
great.
it
I
in
guess
your
you could put
will.
it in a will.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if, despite the fact that I would really love bone dice, I'm not sure there's any version of bone dice that aren't
Actually,
cursed.
there
That
is
aren't cursed.
actually
Yes.
bone dice.
Oh my God, really?
All bone dice are
Yeah.
cursed. I'm sorry.
I will
Them's
make a
the
deal with
rules.
you right now. If I die, you can use my bones to make your dice.
Yes, but
There
see,
is
your rolls are already
actually-
so bad, they'll be very cursed.
Wow!
Whoa.
Wow! Okay.
Like,
Oh my
you can
God.
watch.
A gift willingly
great.
given, and
You-
now it's
What
still
is-
I
cursed.
I just sent you guys a link. There's your bone dice.
Excellent.
Oh,
Mark,
wow,
There
really?
is.
for you,
it's
instead
just
of your
kinda-
bones,
You
I
had
would
time
love
to
it if
What?
you got, you know, your ashes were turned into one of those jewels, and then I would
Yeah.
like put you in my dice tray, and then you could watch.
But then I just sit there and do nothing?
Well, okay, how
Okay.
about like
hey,
a very
look, well,
flat
all you
coin?
do
You
is
could be
you
a
make
two-
sure that you're Mark's dice and then always roll in that one.
Yeah, you could be my 2D. How's that? Or
Can I,
D2,
can I
excuse
be,
me. Like
okay,
a
how
coin.
about this? Make me a D100.
Okay. Oh, I like that. I like that. There we go.
It's a lot harder to fail those.
Yeah. Perfect. You know, it's just I don't want you to spend your afterlife also feeling like you're not rolling well. You know, I want you to feel very satisfied. Life's
That's very
hard. Why should
generous
the
of you.
afterlife
Thank
also
you.
be hard?
Oh my God.
Let's see.
Next question.
It's all right. It's October. This is the one time we can talk about this stuff.
Yeah. Like,
What is your
Ben-
greatest wish that you want to come true?
well, we just discussed it.
That's the greatest wish.
Mark's
Yeah,
femur is
okay.
going to be my D100.
Yeah.
Awesome. I could drive over and get it right now if you want.
Whoa,
After,
I said
after.
when, not
Okay,
now.
after, not now.
Oh my-
After.
No.
She does know where I live too. That's a legitimate threat.
Run.
Yeah.
After we end the call, run.
Run, hide. We got evidence, so
Oh yeah, there's there's video
I'm
evidence.
innocent.
yeah, video evidence. So be careful.
Ah.
Not fabricated. That is fine.
My eardrums.
Thank you for the 5, George. Really appreciate it. To spice up the combo, what is your favorite comfort food, drink / alcohol beverage to enjoy a great season? Mine is a nice sushi roll, and God was much love to all of you, and happy for your success, George. Thank you, George. Really appreciate it.
Ooh.
Mine is.
I'll
really
post it in the
bad.
chat just in case.
Mine is
Okay,
really
yeah,
bad.
I'm
my
dummy.
my
Fit-
comfort
fit
food
food drink
is
combo,
specifically
comfort
a
food.
beef bowl from Yoshinoya.
Ooh, yeah.
And there is
Yeah.
only one in all of Texas, and it's in the airport, so I don't get it very
Oh, that
often.
sucks.
I have
Airport.
discovered
That's random.
very recently that Yoshinoya makes canned beef, like rice bowls.
They do.
Like, for in case of an emergency, if you need extra food supplies. And I'm like, you know what? Close enough. I'll take it. Close enough. Look, it says Yoshinoya on
It's
the
got
label.
the name on it. It
It
counts.
says it on the label. It's fine. It's fine.
I love Taiwanese beef noodle soup.
Mm-hmm.
It is so good with a can of apple cidra, which is a Taiwanese soda. Soda. It's like an apple soda that tastes like apple cider, but with like sugar, and it's a soda, and it tastes also great with rum. So it's a great mixed drink as well. So yeah, I don't know if it's just the nostalgia, but it's delicious.
I gotta try that.
I gotta look at that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord, I didn't even have lunch before I came here. I'm starving now.
That was a mistake.
Big one.
I like any and all forms of tea, and I like any and all forms of noodles.
Yeah.
So any combination of the above. My permanent roommate makes udon from scratch, and it's very,
when am I
very
coming
good.
over?
When we're not all little bombs of, it's like, don't breathe.
What if I come in one of
I
those
don't have to
giant
breathe to
hamster
eat.
balls?
Yeah.
I come in a giant hamster
Roll
ball.
on over.
Yes.
Roll on over.
So yeah,
funny.
Bubble boil
we do that, and I make tea and bake a lot of things. So I would say probably like udon and a green tea would probably be that combo. Specifically,
Green tea tastes really good with frozen strawberries.
does. It super does. I have a lot of tea too. In fact, look at my tea. This is some of my tea on my shelf. I grow this myself. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh wow.
Chrysanthemum
So cool.
tea is so good.
It's so
Oh
good.
my
I'm
God.
doing lavender right now in my garden.
Having made catnip tea, apparently it really helps you sleep.
Interesting. I
Yeah,
have
it's like
not
chamomile.
tried it.
Because catnip is a plant. That's why we grow it in our backyard.
Yeah.
Oh,
He leaves and then we put it on the ground, and he walks over, and then he didn't make it.
Yep.
There was a question I was going to read, and it's from Benji Addict. It says, "If your character from Horimiya were to come to the real world, what would be the first thing your character would do with you?"
Probably walk away.
Like, where are you walking away? I voice you. I'm like, exactly. No.
Eat cake! Yay!
Yeah, definitely. I think I would want to eat cake.
Mm-hmm. We would eat
We
cake
all go
together.
and eat cake.
Yeah.
Cake
Go to
and
high
tea.
tea.
Cake and tea.
Mm-hmm.
High tea.
Yes.
Cute little
I
sandwiches and
concur.
That would be a sight to see. Like
That
all
would
you all
be-
together with your characters eating
Mhm.
cake and tea, just chatting.
Yeah. I'm down for
That'd be
that.
awesome.
Except for Mark's, who apparently would be like locked outside or something.
I'm trying to make it awkward, but like if Hori showed up with Marissa, then he'd probably go. So
Dang. Well, we'd probably go
Okay,
get
we're
coffee.
locking him outside.
No.
he's just staring through the window.
Exactly.
Seems nice, guys. It looks really tasty. Oh, that?
Yeah, it's delicious. Too bad you can't be in here.
Can I come in?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry, maximum occupancy already taken up. We're in the pandemic.
We gotta do 6 feet apart. There's no room. There's no room.
There's a chair right there.
Not exactly. It's called social distancing.
6 feet apart. It's fine.
Exactly.
I think we should keep social distancing forever, though. That's just
Yeah,
me.
especially at cons.
Nah,
I could
nah.
really do without the whole people walking up to you and suddenly hugging you when you
I'm
don't
already
know them.
emotionally, socially distant. But yeah, the surprise hugs I don't enjoy.
You just
Not
need a
at all.
posse.
And that's creepy.
Nah.
You're right.
That's I had considered for a while like getting a hula hoop and just being like, well, now
Come and get me.
try, just
Come
try.
on, let's go.
Can't get me now,
Except,
just try.
except at a con, somebody would take that as a challenge.
Yeah,
Just-
How often could you keep that going all day? Like that, I feel like
Take-
that would just, that would
Take-
hurt.
take
You
my
know,
advice. All
maybe
you're
IU
doing.
has a very strong core.
I have a
Maybe.
decent hula hooping. Like I've like when you're very young and you pick up incredibly stupid skills because you think it's quite impressive because you're
Oh,
a
yes.
kid.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hula hoop very well. It's never
Okay, you
once
burn
done
out
anything
calories that
for
way.
me, but I can do it. It's one of those stupid kid skills you pick up. And it's
Mine
there.
was being dumb, but you know.
Same.
Mine was whistling.
Ah, very nice.
Also,
Yeah.
Mine was
but-
figuring out I was double jointed.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wait,
Wow.
everywhere?
Just my arms, but like I can like. Oh, hold on. So I can like. do that.
I found out my shoulders are double jointed, but I didn't find that out until college.
Oh.
My
Sounds
thumb
like
is double jointed too.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
found out
wow.
like some.
Yeah.
I all I know is like my
Yeah.
joints are like very loose or something, and that's why I got injured while playing piano in college.
Oof.
Yee, thoracic
Yeah.
outlet syndrome.
The older someone is when they discover something about their body, the more I assume it was because an accident happened.
Yeah.
And not
And,
because
like,
they
I
were
remember
just
I went
goofing
to
around
so
one day
many-
going, "Can my
Yeah.
thumb do anything?"
I went to
That's
a
funny.
physical therapy. No, I went to the doctors, and they're like, "Oh no, it can't be like a nerve or a muscular problem because it would only be on one side." And then I went to see a physical therapist that worked with musicians, and they're like, "They're dumb. You use both your arms."
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
I do.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out. I started doing martial arts, and I just assumed I was always flexible. But my coach was like, "I think you're double jointed. You should get that checked." And I was like, "That's probably fine." And then like a week later, I was playing basketball, reached over my head to grab a rebound, and my shoulder just popped right out of the socket. And I went, "Oh,
Maybe I am.
There it is. See?
He was right."
So
Later
you
in
don't
life,
need
you
his
discover
femur.
it.
You can just break it off from his shoulder.
Yeah,
and
just
then make
it'll
dice
pop
out of
right
that.
off. It'll come
Yeah.
right off. So
You just might need to use a cleaver for the flesh part, but you know, we're good.
I'm really excited about these dice.
Oh my god. Oh.
All
my-
right.
Next question. Ignoring the canon pairings, who do you think would be the most compatible with each other?
Hori and
Horimiya.
Honoka, I mean, what?
Yeah. Hey, you. I can be your girl.
Oh boy.
I would do
Okay.
Andy with that song and that character. That'd be hilarious.
I think Yanagi and Sakura would be a good pairing.
I can see that actually.
Yeah, I can see
Oh man, I'm trying to think. Remy and Mimura, of course. Bro, that episode really made me laugh. Like, it's so sad because in the manga, there's like a specific scene where Remy teases Hori that she's literally gonna take her away from it, and it's just so funny. So I'm sad that never got animated, but I don't think that they would make a good couple, and I truly stand by that statement.
Miyamura, egg, OTP.
Yes.
Egg time. Oh, okay.
yeah, I'm boring. I like the canon pair.
Yeah, you're supposed to. That's why
I
the
think they're
writer
with
put
who
them
they're
there.
supposed to be with.
That's
You know
why
what?
the writer
Fair,
put
yes.
them there.
Listen, I read a lot of fan fiction, so my life, I
do too.
I switch things up.
Yeah.
I like a little spice, a little bit.
I've
of
always
flavor.
thought I've always thought Miyamura and Ishikawa, because I kind of had that. I kind of had a sense they had a really strong bromance relationship. I'm like, is there going to be some LGBT kind of thing here? Because I really got that vibe from them. So I kind of figured if that's what they were going to go for, like, it wouldn't surprise me because they really had that kind of connection, at least during the early parts of the show. I mean, so even some later parts in the show as well. That's kind of why, the vibe was going there, but I mean, if it did, it wouldn't bother me at all. It would still been kind of funny. It was something nice too, but yeah.
Yeah,
Reuben?
definitely. No, for me, I just want to say real quick, I gotta wrap it up on my end. I got somewhere I gotta be. I really do appreciate being on with all of you. It was great chatting with all of you, getting to meet all of you. Absolutely loved it. Thank you all so much. And John's gonna take over from here for me. Again, thank you all so much. It was an honor to meet all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thanks
thank you
for
very much for
having
having
us.
us. Thank you to the audience, everyone, for watching and all of your questions. It was super cool to be able to just chat about Horimiya and other things.
It was great.
Nothing weird like bone dice or anything like that.
Nothing weird like
Yeah,
going
no.
there.
It wasn't
Nothing
inappropriate at
weird.
all.
There's no proof. There's no proof.
There is no proof.
There's
no proof.
It's called stuff, and there are no survivors.
There's
This is
no
all
what
illusion.
happens on here stays
No.
on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. It's all in your head. This is not what we talked about.
No.
Right.
There's no proof. I can't wait
But
for this to be clipped and taken out of context.
These are not the serial killers you are looking for.
But yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you
Yeah,
so
I
much.
appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
So everybody, thank you guys so much for joining this second panel of the Horimiya cast. For everybody involved, thank you all so much. It was truly an honor to meet you. You're all wonderful people. Love your work. Love you as people. I think you guys were fantastic. You killed your roles, and it was just a massive honor to meet every single one of you people. So thank you guys so much, and we really hope to do this again with you guys in the future. So it'll be such a massive honor. So guys, that's going to be it for this stream. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed it because we had an absolute blast. The best time I've ever had in a long time for this channel. And if you guys have anything, any videos you'd like us to react to eventually, or any other panels you'd like us to host, please leave it in the comment section down below, and we will look into it. Put on post notifications so you never miss what we do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Follow all our social medias as well as the cast social medias. We will all leave in the description of this video, and we will see you guys in the next panel. So we love you guys, and you guys all stay awesome.